Ms. Rose Dominguez, if you want to bring that.
Welcome, everyone. I know we have a lot of people here tonight, so if you will bear with us. I invited Punchtoula Junior High to come and present the colors for us and do the pledge and do a song. I didn't realize they were bringing their entire band that we're going to be blessed with tonight. So I'm going to turn it over to our principal at Punchtoula Junior High, Miss Mary Beth Crevetto, and her band director is here, Mr. Jeff. Ms. Crevetto.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Mr. Jeff, are you going to do Star Spangled Banner or anything? Okay.
We brought Jacayla Hart to do the national anthem. Armani, come stand by. Oh, you want to stand by Miss Vicki? Come sit right here. All right, Jacayla Hart.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Thank you. Thank you, Jacayla. Thank you, Armani. Very nice. Don't mention it. All right. Let's see. You can have a seat right
You
there.
may be
for us.
seated.
Yeah. And you're performing next? Yeah. Is he next? Is he next? Okay. And we also I asked Mr. Jeff to have the band play a few people, and we've got the whole junior high band. This is 7th and 8th graders. And we've been very, very blessed with the tremendous band. Mr. Jeff Cardanella is 5th and 6th grade band director at Martha Vineyard, and then he comes over half day. So this is half day, 7th and 8th graders in our band program. Our PTO has committed to buying one new instrument for 4 years in a row. So the school is matching that for 4 years in a row. So I've asked Ms. Dominguez to ask the board to match that. So I think Mr. Jeff's bringing everybody tonight to show. But you know, we know how to market things. So I know you will be delighted, impressed. with Mr. Carter and Ella and our band.
Thank you so much, Ponchatoula Junior High. We appreciate your parents and grandparents. I'm sure came to watch you as well tonight. I know it's going to be hard, but if you could stand, if you're part of this group, or if you can wave if you're standing already and let us know so we can recognize you for coming. Parents, grandparents of the students. We sure do appreciate y'all coming tonight. Did a great job. Mr. Toller?
Thank you very much. Once again, thank you. The view is fixing to change for the crowd, and I apologize for that. I know they were a lot better to look at than the 9 that are up here, or 10. Exactly. I heard that. All right, meeting for January 21st called to order. Roll call, Ms. Jenkins.
Mr. Richards?
Present.
Mr. Toller?
Here.
Ms. Abrams?
Here.
Mr. Westmoreland?
Present.
Mr. Duncan?
Here.
Mr. Bush? Here. Mr. Moore?
Here.
Ms. Simmons?
Here.
Ms. Megan?
Present.
Thank you. Also, I'd like to entertain a motion to approve the minutes from January 7th meeting.
I'll make that motion.
Motion made by Ms. Simmons,
Second.
seconded by Mr. Dominguez.
Online voting is open.
Has everyone voted?
I vote yes.
Online voting is closed. Motion passes.
Okay, item 2A, recognize the 2019 Teachers of the Year. Ms. Jackson.
It wasn't connected. I don't know what the, but I finally got on. Okay. I don't know if it's.
Good evening.
I had to pull it up on my phone.
Each year, we ask our principals to select a nominee to represent their schools for Teacher of the Year. Tonight, we want to recognize one of the best and brightest in our district.
Is her mic on?
From Amead Elementary, we have Casey Corkin. Yeah, gotta take pictures. Champ Cooper Elementary, Amy Smith. From Chesbro, we have Mr. Mark Catalanato, better known as Coach Cat. From DC Reeves, we have Brandy Bastion. From Hammond Eastside Magnet Primary, we have Miss Jan Husser. Hammond Westside Montessori Primary, we have Miss Christian Ruiz. Independence Leadership Academy, we have Miss Laura McKay. From Laranja Elementary, we have Miss Bonita Hardy. From Lucille Nisa Memorial School, we have Chelsea Schaff. Midway Elementary School, we have Miss Dodie Hutchison. From O.W. Dillon Leadership Academy, we have Miss Yvonne Chapman. And from Parent Early Learning Center, we have Miss Tristan Wainwright. Hey, Tristan. From Roseland Montessori School, we have Whitney Roy. From Southeastern Louisiana University Lab School, we have Mr. Nicholas Stulich. From Spring Creek Elementary, we have Miss Joy Moore. And Miss Joy Moore will be retiring this school year. Yeah. From Tucker Elementary, we have Miss Lauren Perry. From Woodland Park Elementary Magnet School, we have Miss Dolores Monona. Each year, the nominees from each of the schools are allowed to compete in the district competition in order to compete on the state level. This year, we have an awesome recipient for the District Elementary Teacher of the Year. She focuses on building meaningful relationships with students, parents, and colleagues to make her school a better learning environment. She recognizes teaching is so much more than curriculum. It involves providing opportunities for students to develop, learn, and grow. Her favorite quote is, "No one cares how much you know until they know how much you care," by Mr. Theodore Roosevelt. She accepts her role as a teacher as one that is challenging but well worth it, because she understands her impact and her influence inspires her students to do their very best. She demonstrates leadership by serving on a multitude of committees and clubs such as PBIS, leadership team, dance team sponsor, ELA lead teacher, in which she facilitates collaboration for her colleagues. And she's also in the process of starting an SGA at her school. Her principal describes her as extremely focused with a clear sense of purpose. She's compassionate. She possesses the ability to work well with as well as inspire others. She's an effective educator who exhibits professionalism and responsibility for the success of all of her students. Her parents describe her as someone who has a genuine love for her students. She's respected by her colleagues and parents, and she takes advantages of opportunities to improve her practice and develop relationships with her students. She had an effective proficient rating on her SLTs for the 2018-2019 school year. Congratulations to our District Elementary Teacher of the Year, Ms. Brandy Bastion from DCU. Okay, now moving on to our middle school Teachers of the Year. From Amite Westside Middle Magnet School, we have Ms. Sheila Haywood. From Greenville Park Leadership Academy, we have Ms. Stacy Kinchin. Hammond Eastside Magnet Upper, Elizabeth McDonough. Hammond Westside Montessori Upper, Elizabeth Folk. From Independence Middle Magnet, we have Miss Katia Click. From Laranja Middle School, Miss Jamie Vonado. From Martha Vineyard, we have Samantha McDaniel. From the Tall Benny Middle School, we have Miss Jessica Mays. Ponchatoula Junior High School, Miss Victoria Dirks. And from Sumner Middle School, we have Miss Paula Splain, who could not be here with us tonight. Okay? At this time, I'd like to recognize the District Middle School Teacher of the Year. This teacher believes in investing time into building students up through establishing positive relationships. She has high expectations for students and encourages students to be confident and develop a work ethic. She uses reflection to adjust and plan for future lessons in an effort to be better for her students. She promotes student engagement through community projects within her classroom and outside of the community. She initiated Tula Cares, in which the members lead projects in the school and in the community. She serves as the ELA 7th grade department chair and the ELA guidebooks trainer for the English department. She's willing to assist teachers with lesson planning and implementation. She encourages her colleagues to actively participate in collaboration and department meetings. She mentors methods teachers and student teachers from Southeastern Louisiana University. Her principal describes her as a person who works really hard to make sure her students feel safer in her class. She holds her students to a high standard, but she guides them through the learning process so they can meet her expectations. Her colleagues describe her as one that goes above and beyond for all of her students and who serves well with students of various abilities. She received an effective proficient rating on her 2018-19 SLTs. Congratulations to our District Middle School Teacher of the Year, Ms. Victoria Dirks of Ponchatoula Junior High. Look. Okay, moving on to our high schools. Okay. From Amite High School, we have Mr. Christopher Gordon. From Hammond High School, we have Miss Rachel Robbins. From Independence High School, we have Miss Holly Malazzo. From Kentwood High Magnet School, Jacaria Wilkerson. From Laranja High School, Mr. Michael Young. From Ponchatoula High School, Miss Catherine Sticker. From Sumner High School, Miss Cynthia Jackson. And from the Tangible Alternative Solutions Program, we have Mr. Donald McCray. Our district high school teacher of the year can be described as someone who's internationally minded, which is the mission of her school, which requires rapport and positive relationships, which is the heart of the efforts at her school to challenge students and to create a school culture of respect and achievement. Her classroom is a truly student-centered one. She encourages her students to be open-minded and to feel safe by taking risks in her classroom because every day is a good day to learn something new. She inspires her students by providing classroom rapport and activity-based and student-centered lessons. She provides engaging lessons which include a wide variety of activities such as gallery walks, essays, Google slide presentations, debates, and projects which meet the needs of various types of learners. She assisted her department at her school by earning the highest U.S. history LEAP scores in the district in 2018-19. She served as the huddle leader for the Fellowship of Christian Athletes for 4 years. And the membership has grown from 20 members to 150 members since she served as the leader. She has effective, proficient, and exceptional ratings on her 2018-2019 SLTs. One of her former students described her as a person who demonstrated devotion to teach her state-mandated curriculum, but she also encouraged students to exhibit genuine love and care about other students as well. Congratulations to our District High School Teacher of the Year, Ms. Rachel Robbins of Hammond High Magnet School.
Congrats. Did you know? It's amazing. Virginia got it. I didn't know. Virginia got it 2 years ago.
At this time, I would like to recognize our District Elementary Principal of the Year. At her school, they don't just achieve excellence, but they chase it daily. She credits the success of her school to her teachers as well as other staff members because they are positive-minded and student-focused. She's a learning leader who has participated in the NISL Principalship Fellowship training with the state. She's also a Leadership Tangible Hope Program class graduate of 2019. She achieved her doctorate in education in 2013. She was the student teacher of the year at SLU in 2002. She's always constantly reading, connecting, and having discussions with community members and striving to enhance her leadership capacity. Her school has received Top Gains Award in 2018 and 2019, which she accredits to her teachers meeting weekly, discussing student progress, doing data analysis, and instructional practices to improve student engagement and rigor. They share students' growth to mastery progress with parents and track in their efforts. Her school letter grade improved from a 71.4 C to a 77.8 B in 3 years, but she is still striving to be the other A school in the district. Her colleagues describe her as one who shares her knowledge and expertise with her staff and colleagues. She's creative, a positive leader who is dedicated to ensuring that the instructional environment is focused on continuous improvement. Her students and parents describe her as the hardest working principal in the district, someone who goes above and beyond for all, always thinking of the next idea to make her school better. She's always greeting everyone with a smile, the students say, even when they're in trouble. Her supervisor describes her as one who models her expectations and provides necessary supports for her teachers and staff to ensure students are successful. She's a living testimony of how a determined instructional leader can have a direct impact by changing a culture, climate, and academic expectations within any school community by being intentional, strategic, and courageous enough to do so. I would like to congratulate our District Elementary Principal of the Year, Dr. Rosalind Bonado of Chesbro Elementary.
I would first like to thank the Tangipahoa Parish School Board and Superintendent Stilley for allowing me just to serve as the principal at Chesbro Elementary. It is absolutely my staff and my students and my community that make all of this possible. I tell them daily, we chase excellence and we are remarkable. It's something we believe at our school. Of course, I also have had some amazing mentors along the way. Numerous of them are in this building right now who have guided me and given me advice and just coached and taught me so much. Of course, I also grew up with mentors in my home, as both my mom and dad were principals, and they just really have guided me and provided a great path for me throughout my life. I want to thank my husband and my children. He's always up for whatever I need done at the school or whatever crazy request I have, and my children who think that we live at the school more than we live at our house. I love you all dearly. But I cannot do any of this without the love of my Father and Savior, Jesus Christ. Amen. And I thank you so much. I thank God that I'm allowed to wake up each and every day and to serve at Chesbro Elementary and serve the community there. Thank you so much for this honor. I appreciate this a lot. Thank you.
I want to congratulate all of you who are representing your schools as Teacher of the Year. I know that Ms. Joy Moore, before it started, she said, I feel like my teammate Wanda Williams should be standing up here with me, and I know many of you share that sentiment with those of you at your schools, but we appreciate you standing up for your school, representing that group, and congratulations to you. I am here to present our District High School Principal of the Year. Our High School Principal of the Year's mantra is leaders serve others, not themselves. This principal served as a TAP master teacher and curriculum coach. She was honored as Teacher of the Year in 2009. She also attended NISL Principal Fellowship Training with the state cohort of 2016. In 4 years, her school has grown from a letter grade of D to C, and they are just 4.6 points shy of a B. The current SPS score is a 70.4. This principal has earned exceptional attainment on her SLTs from 2018-19, which included this improved SPS score, and the ACT Assessment Index, which improved from a 55.6 to a 98.5 in just 1 year. Her leadership journey has made her stronger, more student-centered, and improved her ability to serve as a voice for her students and to share her vision that nothing is impossible. She developed a strong mission, vision, and set of cores when she became the principal through extensive work with her leadership team, and she uses weekly collaboration time to empower teachers to embrace a growth mindset, which allows this sort of academic achievement to occur. This principal leads by example by modeling her expectations for the faculty, staff, and students. As her supervisor, I have found this principal demonstrates a commitment to the education of the students at her school, as well as concern for the professional growth and development of her teachers. She is hardworking, like I have to make her go home if she's sick, and then she still doesn't listen to me. She's dependable. She exemplifies high standards of professional behavior. She continues to strive to create a collaborative, innovative, and supportive environment for her faculty, staff, and students every day. Her teachers and students will tell you that she is visible in the hallways and classes. You can also hear the little clickety-clack of heels sometimes. She's always talking to her students and asking for feedback on how to make the school experience better for her students. She is very passionate about her school and community because she is a graduate from the school that she serves. She served in the Marine Corps. That should scare all of her students right there. And the Marine Corps Reserve. And that tenacity, along with her focus on utilizing data to inform instruction, makes her a remarkable, visionary, and commendable leader of Independence High Magnet School. Congrats to our District High School Principal of the Year, Miss Chastity Collier, Principal of Independence High Magnet.
Good evening. I am truly honored and humbled to receive this award tonight, yet I don't feel worthy of such an honor because I alone do not deserve it. There are many other people who have contributed to our school's success. Many of those people are sitting amongst you right now. You see, most leaders have a vision, but the vision cannot come to fruition if only the leader believes in it. The greatest lesson I've learned thus far as a leader is that nothing replaces competent personnel. Our human resources are by far our greatest gift to students. 4 years ago, I asked my faculty and staff to run head-on into the burning building and bring our school from a low D to a strong C. And they did. They did, even though it seemed impossible at times. They did, even after being knocked down on so many occasions. Instead of wishing for the impossible, they chose to believe the possible. Faculty and staff of Independence High, I am most honored to work with you. I accept this award tonight only under the condition that you share in the fruits of our labor. We did this together. I look forward to working with you for many years to come. This is a win not only for me, but for the Independence faculty and staff, our Independence students, and our Independence community. I would like to acknowledge a few very special people who have supported me throughout the years. I don't know what I would do without the help of my assistant principal, Ms. Tasha Damiano, my counselor, Ms. Ronina Walls, and my literacy specialist, Pauline Williams. You three are my right hand indeed. My disciplinarian, Mac Webb, my SRO, Unseld Johnson, Miss Brandy Gonzalez, Supervisor of Student Services, Amy Fairchild, a special education social worker. All of those individuals have been instrumental in helping me understand the value of empathy towards others. My office staff, Miss Linda, Miss Tanya, and Miss Tammy, they really remind me every day to take my blood pressure medicine. And a great big shout out to my direct supervisor, where is she? Miss Lisa Facel, who has been my mentor and supporter and has kept me grounded. I would also like to acknowledge Ms. Stilley and our school board for allowing me the many opportunities to attend conferences and trainings to better my craft. As educators, we are lifelong learners. Even as principals, the learning never ends. And to my family, especially my children, Cody, Paul, and Carly, thank you for supporting me and allowing me to serve other children. There have been many days when I left for work before you woke, and I returned after you went to bed, never having laid eyes on you once that day. You inadvertently served the students of Independence too, so I thank you. And of course, I want to thank God for blessing me with the desire to work with children. Education is a life of servitude, and I willingly choose to continue to serve my community. Again, thank you for this honor. I'm most humbled.
Thank you. Thank you very much. And on behalf of the Tangipahoa Parish School Board, we all want to say a big congratulations. We also want to say that we consider it a privilege to be your board and to serve you, and that if we can help you in the future in your success, please let us know. This time we will take a brief 5-minute recess so we can congratulate you.
Channel 17, proudly serving the Florida parishes.
No, we have a quorum. Here comes Rose. Meeting called back to order. Thank you for that. This time we're going to be on item number 3A, consider approval, industrial tax exemption application number 201-80379 for Gnarly Barley Brewery Company. Mr. Snodderbock.
Mr. Chairman, Mr. President, I'm sorry. At this particular time, we're going to turn the mic over to Zach, I believe. And Zach will have a couple comments.
Okay.
4-year-old. My wife and my 4-year-old got separated from us on the way in. So
That's okay.
just trying to kind of gather the family. I got the newborn, so we're okay, right? We're waiting on something.
We're going to close some doors to try to get some sound. That's all right. We got a quorum there. Okay.
Yes, hello. My name is Zach Caramano. My wife and I are the founders, owners of Gnarly Barley Brewing. We're a craft brewery here in the parish. We're actually located inside the city limits of Hammond. So what we're here to ask for today is something that we have used as a tool, a great tool as we've grown. And over the past few years, 2014 was when we actually opened up or bought our first equipment then. So this is basically an industrial tax exemption that allows us to purchase equipment and to prove that we're showing jobs with that equipment and to grow and give us a little bit of break. Early on, we're a mess. It's a bit of a madhouse out there if you haven't noticed.
Yeah.
So when we opened the brewery, obviously things were tight. It was the two of us. A lot of our income came from outside sources and other jobs, but this was something that allowed us to make ends meet as we grew our business and as we continue to buy equipment to then create more revenue, to bring on more employees, and to grow our business. So, as kind of a background on us, we're both grew up in St. Tammany Parish, came to Tangipahoa as students at the university, and ended up meeting and staying here, graduating and deciding to set roots, and then eventually open our business here in the parish. So we're obviously advocates of improving the parish, and it's we've definitely made our lives here, and it's been quite nice. So as we've grown our business, one thing that we opened with, even when the money was tight, we were obviously, money was tight at first. We were very generous with, nonprofits and charitable donations, which last year we reached almost, I think, right at 100 charitable donations in 2019. As our business has grown, we've added, gone from just the two of us to now there's 23 full-time employees. This exemption allows us to do things like, instead of just create jobs, but create careers for our employees. And that's something that meant a lot to us, opening up as young entrepreneurs to what did we want to do with our business. And one of the big things for me was I wanted to not just, because as our employees came on, they became good friends. And it made sense to where I didn't want to lose my friends because they couldn't make a life or a livelihood doing what we love. And so this allows us to do things like provide health insurance, to provide 401k and dental and vision and all that. We started our benefit program with only 8 employees. So it's something we have done very aggressively. And it's not always easy. We pay a lot in payroll and benefits, but it's kind of who we are as a business. And so I just kind of want to give you a background on who we are before we got into the actual numbers. And you'll see that as this allows us to grow the benefits that the parish gets from other taxes we pay, which in our line of business is quite steep. That will benefit, we'll all benefit more in the end, because it allows us to create economy and to pay other taxes that are going to surpass what we could if we were stifled or our growth was slowed down. So since I'm just a brewer, I'm going to let Jason, my helper here, he's gonna give you the numbers and the breakdown and let you guys really know what it means in the number side of it.
Before we go any further, though, I do need to get a motion on the floor so we can actually discuss this. Do I hear a motion?
I make a motion.
All right, motion's been made.
Second.
Second by Mr. Bush. Motion to consider the approval of the tax exemption. Made by Ms. Abrams, seconded by Mr. Bush. Okay, we have a motion on the floor. And technically, we typically do this with public input, right? But this is just informational thing, so yeah. Come on up and tell us the numbers on this so we know what the impact is.
Very good. Thank you for having me. My name is Jason Amber. I'm the president of A to Z Consultants. And my last career job I had was 10 years with the Ascension Parish Assessor's Office, so I was sort of on your side of this equation with these industrial tax exemptions. And I started my company specifically to take care of small business owners who often get locked out of these sort of incentives that the state and local and federal government offer. The large corporations can afford the six-figure fees. A whole lot of firms will charge. It's not my fee. And again, my focus is on helping small business and merge their desires and their wishes and their growth potential with the concerns of locals. So I really have an easy job today, quite frankly. I mean, you heard Zach and Carrie's story. They're a great story. The local kids do well, start a business, and do great. Craft brewery is a massively growing industry across the country, and every small town worth its salt now has at least one. They're tremendous folks that are just doing great things, including adding jobs. So just a brief history of the industrial tax exemption. It was put into the state constitution in 1973. In fact, my grandfather was one who wrote that legislation as an assessor many, many years ago. And it was designed to attract large corporations to do business in Louisiana. There's a thriving petrochemical industry up and down the Mississippi River corridor because of this program. it has expanded through the years in its value because it's also exists in place now to retain those people, to keep them here, and whenever they build and expand and reproduce. And as I'm sure you're aware, it's a highly competitive market out there in the world now. Every time a company decides to come here, they're looking at numbers in Texas and other places before they come here. So again, the reason I say my job as Luigi today is because that's not the case here. We're talking about local folks running a local business that don't want anything special. They don't want any special deals or special cutouts or anything out of the ordinary. They just want to take advantage of what the state promises them that they can take advantage of. The big change that happened in the industrial tax exemption world for us was in 2016, the governor mandated there were some changes. Instead of 100% exemption for 10 years, the first 10 years the equipment is on the ground, that switched into several variations. 100% for 8 years and then 80% for 10 years and back and forth. The thing they finally kind of settled, we hope, on this particular iteration, and that is an 80% exemption on the equipment of an expansion or new construction only. And again, that's just for 10 years. So the local governing bodies were invited into the equation because you're the one that's mostly affected by property taxes. So the governor thought it was a good idea, which I think is a great idea as well. Local taxing bodies get to have some input in whether these things are approved or not. The process at this point is to put an advance notification in, begin construction, do an application, send in all the information for how much you've spent, what you've done, your new employees, the payroll that you're going to create, and then you guys get to make the decision. That used to be obverse in the past. And just 7 months ago, it was the other way around, that you guys would look at it first before that process. But that's the process we have now. So we've been through the process of all of those things happening, including the Louisiana Economic Development approving the application and improving all of the, dotted I's and crossed T's, as well as the Commerce and Industry Board. They've also reviewed the application and given us their approval at that point. So all we seek today is your approval for us to go forward. I would like to go through the Fast Facts page that I gave you guys real quick, if I could. The initial advance filing was for $350,000, but the final application we filed is for $383,494. They spent just a little bit more. 100% of this project is for expansion of the brewery and added brewing and canning capacity and efficiency. No capitalized maintenance or required regulatory construction was included. This is a key feature now in its regulation from Louisiana Economic Development, that all of it has to be for new or expansion. The new payroll from this expansion alone is $180,000, almost doubling their total payroll at the facility. As Zach talked about, he started 4 years ago, just he and Carrie. At the end of this project, they had 16 full-time, and as he said, now since that time, it raised up to 23 already, with plans to do some more expanding and some more growth and some added capacity, which of course will also be more employees. Total tax abatement for the school board at this point is $8,436 over the 10-year period. During the 20-year lifespan of this equipment, Gnarly will pay the school board, it's a misprint, $86.01 on this same equipment. So the Louisiana Tax Commission decides what the average lifespan of any piece of equipment is based upon what kind it is. And in the case of brewing equipment, they have recognized it has a 20-year average lifespan, which means that it'll be on the tax rolls for those 20 years until it hits its basement at like 0.23% of the original cost. It'll stay on there ad infinitum unless they remove those things. So just during the 20-year lifespan that the Tax Commission says this equipment has, it's kind of a net zero for you. During that same period, Gnarly will pay an estimated $507,400 in local use tax, as well as an estimated $200,000 in other property taxes. So they'll continue to pay for their real property, all the other equipment that is at their facility, and their inventory, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So they'll still be paying quite a bit of taxes. I understand most certainly the pressures that we all face in our local communities for tax dollars, and it's very important. And obviously, schools are the foundation of any community that's growing. I would just have you consider the perspective that it's not tax loss so much as it is because of all of the other economic factors involved, that there's still quite a bit of taxes they're paying to all the different government bodies and use and sales, and all the money, the economic impact of their 23 employees that aren't paid minimum wage. They're paid significantly more than that. So if you guys have any questions, I would be glad to answer them. Any questions about the numbers or the system or how it works?
Okay, Mr. Duncan?
Just a quick, I know each of the taxing districts have to do a similar
They get the
approval or
opportunity
vote.
to.
So
We haven't heard from the sheriff within the 30-day window, and that's a tacit approval. The city of Hammond has given us their approval, and we were before you guys tonight, and next week the council.
So the parish council hasn't voted yet on whether they're going to do?
Next week, Monday.
Okay. And then you said the sheriff just gave tacit approval by not
If
doing
you don't
the-
respond and within a 30-day window and request to have a meeting about it, that is the approval.
Okay. And then the city council in Hammond
Approved
has
last
approved it?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
I'm sorry? Yeah, unanimously, Zach added.
Other questions? No other questions? I do want to say that, nobody on this board is as pro-business as I am, and I do appreciate locals starting a business here and creating jobs here. But you alluded to it. You do have to understand there is a predicament that we're all in as far as funding our schools. And then we're at a position to where we really need more funding for improved education with parish president and parish government. We're all building this parish, and the parish is growing. And then we're stuck in a situation where the funding, so just know that some of us are in that predicament, and we appreciate that.
Mr. President, I completely understand you. I mean, and empathize with your position. And I would also suggest, however, that if you want to attract other business here, that's sending the signal that certainly that you support just what the state offers, not anything special, could be exceptionally beneficial to you guys, that it just sets the precedent. Yes, we're open for business here, and you can come and take advantage of the things that are available to you when they're considering other parishes, other counties, other places.
Right,
like that.
absolutely. Any other questions? All right, let's call for the vote.
Thank you.
Thank you. Voting to consider approval. Let me back up to my cheat sheet.
To approve. Are we considering to approve or approving?
Point
Wait,
of
point
order.
of order.
Yeah, the motion, I think, I would just suggest an amendment to the way that it's worded, that it should say the motion is to approve the industrial tax exemption application rather than to consider approval. Is it?
Yes.
Okay, to approve the industrial tax exemption application. The motion is to approve it. Okay. Correct. Seconded by Mr. Bush? Correct.
The motion was to approve the application.
The motion is to approve the application for the industrial tax exemption.
So we're not approving the exemption.
Yes.
We are.
This motion is approving the exemption.
Okay.
If you vote yes, you are approving the exemption. If you vote no, you're voting not to approve the exemption.
Yes.
Bear with us. This last meeting, we switched over to electronic voting, and we're still trying to work out the kinks on it. So we're not pausing for dramatic effect, I can promise you. Item B, recognize the BXS Insurance for their assistance in recent Office of Group Benefits enrollment process.
Yes, I have a few comments I want to make, and then we'll ask Mr. Powell to come up to Mike and make a few comments. But recently, for the first time ever, the school system, in conjunction with our voluntary insurance provider, that's the BXS Insurance, Mr. Henry Powell, offered a supplemental health insurance policy to our employees. So basically, our employees were able to buy, through Office of Group Benefits, a cheaper monthly premium for their health insurance, and then we partnered that with the supplemental insurance policy for our employees who went with that. And in a very brief amount of time, Mr. Powell and his son and his other employees went to all of our schools and tried to educate all of our employees about this opportunity. And for anyone on a family plan, for instance, that has a family plan with health insurance, they could save upward to like $200 a month on their premiums with better coverage. So we had over 600 employees that decided to enroll in the OGB Pelican HRA MetaPlus plan. That's the supplemental. And this change resulted in $1.1 million saved to our employees, not counting the co-payments that they no longer are required to pay. We've had lots of positive feedback from our employees who have commented that they've, gone to the doctor already and they didn't have to do the $25 or the $50 copay with this new plan and the supplemental. So $300,000 savings to the school district and to the our taxpayers. This is a total of $1.5 million economic impact to our community. And just as a board, superintendent board, and our administration, we want to thank Mr. Powell. We wanted to recognize him and Mr. Austin Powell, who's not here tonight because he just has just had a brand new daughter born, I think a couple days ago. The entire BXS insurance team for bringing the supplemental insurance to our system. And more than that, but aggressively going out and trying to educate our employees on how they could basically give themselves a raise by going with this insurance, and they have better coverage. So at this time, I would like to ask Mr. Powell if you would say a few words to the board about this great opportunity that we've provided.
Okay, Madam Superintendent, Mr. Toller, President, and members of the board, thank you all for having us tonight. I will say that this was not a Henry Powell effort, but a group effort with your administration. Mr. Snoddelbach was very much involved with this, as was the HR department. It is a real $1.1 million savings to your employees. We're going to put that money right back in the economy of Tangipahoa Parish. We do believe that there will be another $300,000 to $500,000 savings to the employees with the elimination of the deductibles and copays. Again, you have fantastic employees. They listened, they paid attention, they made their own decisions, and it absolutely worked out fantastic. We are in the process of the open enrollment now. We are getting good feedback. We had 800 people take advantage of the policy. There's still 1,600 employees who are watching to see what happens. We are aggressively going out to providers to train them on how the product works. We knew it would be a 3 to 5 month process with education with those providers. It seems to be catching on. OGB was a little bit late getting the new cards out, but now everybody should have them. That changed the plan. And it appears from the phone calls that we have gotten that it's working. I know it's just the 21st of the month, but it appears it's working. And we were very, very pleased how it turned out, and I was extremely impressed with Brett and his team and the administration on the action that they took and how it all worked out. I can answer any questions if you have any.
I know on behalf of one of those that saved money, I appreciate it. I really do. Our family does.
Good.
Other comments?
Thank you, guys.
Thank you again, Ms. Powell. Ms. Dilley?
No other updates tonight.
Okay, board member comments, starting with Mr. Westmoreland.
Just like to say congratulations to all the teachers of the year, the principals of the year. Excellent job. I'm sure we got plenty more other teachers and principals that are deserving of the rewards, and you're not unnoticed. And so congratulations again.
Mr. Moore?
Yeah, I too would just like to congratulate all of the teachers who were selected. I think that it shows how hard they're working, and to stand out like that is truly amazing, especially with the things that we're facing with the school, with the kids today, under the intense discipline issues that we're having, and how well they're handling it. And I would just like to say once and again, always and forever, a child who feels loved learns better.
I would like to definitely congratulate everyone, but mostly I'd like to congratulate Chastity Collier, because, yay, my alma mater, and she's doing great things at Independence High School. When we see so many negativity come in feedback sometimes over in middle part of the parish, we want to know that Independence High School is doing great things, and she's doing a great job there. So congratulations to her and Independence High School.
Thank you. Ms. Janice?
I'd just like to also say congratulations to the teachers and the principals for all of the hard work, and it was so well deserving, and it was just so amazing to see all of the people that came out to support. That was just awesome.
Mr. Duncan?
I just, I wanted to be able to say this when Mr. Zach was here from Gnarly Barley, but they had to leave, I guess. But, you know, one of the hard parts about our job as a board is oftentimes people that we like or things that we would generally support come and ask us for funding for something, and we have to tell them no. You know, this evening, there's a request that we got submitted to buy the junior high school at Ponchatoula some more band equipment. And, you know, I don't know whether we're going to be able to find the funding for that or not, but it may be another one of those examples where we have to tell them no. I know a lot of us had a difficult time having to tell all of our employees that we didn't have the funding to do the 13th check, so to speak, this year. That was a difficult one. But, you know, there's a lot of those things. I can think of example after example. We have a situation with our bus drivers where we can't hire enough bus drivers because we don't pay that position enough money to be able to attract the employees that we need. So time and again, we have those things where we have to say no, despite the fact that, you know, as a general rule, we like those things and we want to be able to do it. I particularly like Gnarly Barley. I particularly like their Korova Milk Porter beer. I really enjoy that beer and plan on continuing to buy it. But what I can't do, and the difficult thing, I guess, on this vote was if I have a situation where I tell someone yes, I need to be able to explain to all of those people that I told no why I said yes in this instance, but no in their instance. And on this particular case, I did not hear an argument that I felt like where I could go and make that explanation. In fact, I felt like there was going to be a lot of people that we had told no recently that would be really upset if we told this particular instance yes. And so I hope that that Zach and Carrie can understand that. They probably won't be able to, but it certainly is not an indication, or at least my vote is not an indication that I don't appreciate them as a local business or appreciate the work that they're doing, and certainly not something, and not an indication that I don't appreciate their product and the fact that they make it in my hometown. But that's it. Other than that, we have Hammond Eastside is going to be having their production soon, and I hope all of y'all will come see my children. They're going to have a lead in that production, and I'm looking forward to seeing that. They always do a great job with that. And I hope everybody had a great holiday. Thanks.
Ms. Simmons?
Accolades to Robin Abrams for the marvelous, I didn't get to see it, but I saw a lot of it on Facebook, recognition of these young ladies that normally may not get to be recognized, but many were recognized, and it must have been a tremendous program. And now I think you met with the governor today concerning that, and it just takes so much, and it just warmed my heart to see all those pictures on Facebook of these young ladies and what it meant to their lives that normally would not probably be recognized. I just think it was wonderful. That was a lot of work that you went through, and I believe in TARC with everything within me. And also, too, tonight, on the recognition of our teachers and principals, you know, this is really what it's all about, that and recognizing our students when they perform above and beyond the norm. To me, that's why we're even here tonight, is what we saw here displayed and how much it means to the families of these people that teach or that are principals. And of course, on my own, my daughter, Rachel, you know, that is something that I just can't even begin to tell you the pride, because when she first began college, she was real good in math, and I don't know where she got that from, because she didn't get it from me or her dad, Jake. But she was going to do something in engineering, and then one day she says, "I don't want to do that, Mom. I want to be a teacher." And that's what's important to me. And, you know, we didn't understand it because, you know, she had that other gift and all. But I understand it now, because when I go in the classroom, and I am going to brag, at Hammond High, when I walk in the classroom, she never knows when I'm coming, because I visit all the schools and walk in, and she doesn't know, I mean, I don't even know what she'll be teaching them, but when I walk in, those kids are engaged. But even beyond being engaged, the rapport between, and this is what we want to see in all classrooms, rapport between those students and that teacher is more than I just better behave because she's going to really get me into trouble. It's not that. It's a rapport of love and acceptance at a place where they feel safe in that classroom and where they feel that they're important. And I see that there. I see it in other classrooms also. And that's what our teachers provide. And so tonight, of course, my heart swelled with great pride when I heard the things that, and I got me a copy of what Marquita said about my daughter. But I'm just so thrilled, and I couldn't be more thrilled and honored that she was so honored this night, and all the others that were honored of being so worthy of that. That's it.
Thank you, Mr. Bush.
Being from Ponchatoula, and last year we had every teacher of the year at every grade level. This year we only got 2 of the 3. I'm not sure what happened, but since it was Miss Sanders, actually Mr. Schnatterbach reminded me of that a while ago, but Robin's really from Ponchatoula. But jokes aside, Robin, I live in that community where they had the pageant, and it was really the talk of the town for the weekend. It was awesome. Thank you. And I know you touched a lot of families. You're doing some great work. So I just like to say thank you for doing it, and I just like to congratulate you because it was a very, very big success.
We actually had 2 students, one from Chesbro and one from Laranja that won this year. So they were very excited. And then we had 2 other Tangipahoa children that aren't in school yet. But a lot of them were like from Paraday, Leesville, all over the state of Louisiana. That church could not hold any more people. And it was just amazing all the people that came out. I want to thank Miss Stilley for coming and sitting all day with us. And it was just, if you haven't been, I'm just going to tell you, it'll bring tears to your eyes to see and just see the wonderful children. And all they want is just to be recognized as a regular student or a regular child.
What kind of car was that out front?
That would be Mr. Tom Toller's DeLorean.
That was fun.
What's it called?
A DeLorean. You ever watch Back to the Future? No, well, you need to watch it.
Too far gone.
He brought his car up there for us. It was a great time. And the theme was the 80s, so.
That was fun, and it was fun to see the kids crawl. Of course, most of the kids did not know what the car was either, Miss Andrews, so don't feel bad. But some of them did.
It looked like that when the Tom Cruise drove years ago in some movie. What do you call that thing where the sides go up and all that?
That's what it was.
The same thing? Okay.
Close. Michael J. Fox.
Michael J. Fox.
But I do want to compliment.
What's the name of the car?
compliment Robin on that, because to see the children, if you could go to that event and not laugh, cry, and smile, something was absolutely wrong with you. Those children had the best time ever.
They did.
And
Tom was there.
The girl from
Melissa was
Chesbro, Juju, we picked her up in the car rider line for school that morning, and so she just comes to me every time I see her. But anyway,
And she was one of the winners.
Absolutely. Real quick, I do want to say we went to Walker High School last week on a Monday. I want to thank Miss Stilley and her staff for going. We had 2 principals. We had 2 of your team with us, Miss Carly Cooper, Miss Lisa Fassell. We had the superintendent. We had Miss Simmons, myself. And I just want to say real quick, that amazed me. Simply amazing. What can be done at a high school campus is amazing when you have dynamic leadership. We as a board will support our principals. They're going to be coming at us with some ideas for the fall. So as a board, I'm hoping that the rest of the board will support that. To see the different vocational learning, the soft skills, that when the students graduate, whether they have a 32 on their ACT or a 16, to be able to come out of high school and able to run a cash register, work on your car, do customer service, carpentry, welding, you name it, all of those things are very important, even if you're just looking for a job to go to college while you're in college, regardless. Being able to bank at school and learn those skills of banking and electronic banking is also important. So we know we can't get where Walker is next year because they've been doing this for 12 years. But we know we can start, and we're going to try to implement some of these programs in our schools and encourage our principals to take a chance and let these kids see what they can do with it. And it's just amazing. But I do want to thank the superintendent for going with us, Miss Lisa, Miss Carly, the principals. We've got some other visits that we're going to do in February. So we're going to utilize every bit of learning that we can steal from them to help our students have a good experience while they're in high school. So thank you on that. And save the best for last. Ms. Dilley, you got anything?
Well, I just want to say that, same with Robin, the program Saturday was it was touching, and just what it means to those children and their families is amazing. And it was so great to see so many people involved with that. Also, I wanted to, I know our teachers are gone. We have a few teachers here, but, we had these individuals here tonight, representing each of our schools, but there are many more teachers out there that are rock stars, and also our other employees that support the learning and our principals. And so tonight was a great night just to see and be able to recognize the individuals that are in the trenches doing the work every day, and their families that support them. Because when you're a teacher, and these ladies can attest to this, but when you're a teacher, it's a whole family deal. It takes, the parents, the spouse, the children, everyone. And so just hats off to all of our educators and our support staff. And I see our head nurse in that corner back over there. She's here for most of our meetings. And, one day, I think I asked you this, Ms. Varner, I said, why? I noticed you're at all of our school board meetings, why? And I wasn't sure if it's entertainment.
But she told me last year she made a commitment to attend every meeting. But that was 2019. Did you do the same thing in 2020 also? Because you've been at every one.
Yeah, I think it's wonderful just to be here and see all the different things that are happening across our district. So hats off to all of our employees that give it 100% every day. Thanks.
Absolutely. And last but not least, Ms. Rose.
Oh, you have to come back to me, right?
Yep.
I just really want to congratulate the teachers and our principals of the year. It's an honor. It's a lot of work just to be nominated for those positions, and hats off to our Brandy Baston, and also we had Victoria Dirks actually was a girl that went to Champ Cooper. Her parents went to school with me, so I knew her. And, of course, Miss Simmons' daughter for getting those overall positions. But as Ms. Stilley and everyone said, it is a lot of work to be a teacher, and we do appreciate all the work that everyone does. But all the people who came here and cheered and made signs and posters, and it's just amazing to show a support that our employees have for each other is quite a blessing, I think, in our parish. And then I just wanted to say a little bit about what Mr. Duncan said. You know, I serve on the state school board, and you know, we were part of the group that tried to get our governor to do something about the waivers that were being given away across the state of Louisiana, which actually hurts the tax dollars that we get every day in all of our businesses across the state. So, I mean, it's kind of hard to justify we're going to give a waiver when we really desperately so need money in our system. And, you know, we do love Gnarly Barley. We appreciate them and what they do. I know they even made a Southeastern beer, and they have it canned and has the lion on it and all. We really appreciate them. But, you know, we asking our people every day to give of themselves, and I just didn't in good conscience feel like I could vote to give away money, even if it's a minimal amount. And but we do appreciate them. And the other thing I just wanted to say, we had that upcoming Students of the Year, and then we're going to have the parade, right? So yes, I guess if you Parade of Champions like we did last year, and I think it's February 8th?
February the 8th, yep.
So I just wanted to like kind of remind people to throw that out so people could start thinking about coming to A-Meet for our parade. And while we recognize all these people that are winning and doing such great things.
Absolutely. All right, thank you very much. Do I hear a motion to enter an executive session to consider the case of Betty Page versus Tangipahoa Parish Tangipahoa Parish School Board, and also item B, consider the case of Theodore Cyprian against the school board.
We move. So
Motion made, seconded by Mr. Duncan. Any opposition? Hearing none, executive session.
Channel 17, proudly serving the Florida parishes.
All right, back in session. Do we have action from the executive session?
Mr. President, move to adopt council's recommendation as to the Betty Page versus Tangipahoa Parish School Board matter.
Okay, we have a motion on the floor, seconded by Mr. Westmoreland.
I got out of my computer.
Oh, it's down.
Yes.
So yes, we go with his recommendations, okay?
Correct.
Even if we don't like him.
I think mine's
I
down too,
second
Cindy.
it.
I vote yes.
My computer's down. Yes, ma'am.
I'll vote.
Yes, it was.
I'll vote.
Okay, voting over.
Doing updates. Stupid.
Yes.
Okay, Mr. Duncan.
Mr. President, move that we adopt council's recommendation as to the Theodore Cyprian versus Tangipahoa Parish School Board matter.
Second.
Motion made by Mr. Duncan, seconded by Mr. Westmoreland to adopt council's recommendations.
I accept.
I accept.
Yes.
Yes. What's wrong with y'all?
Our computers are down. We can't get them to come back up.
Thank you very much. One more, Mr. Duncan.
Yeah, Mr. President, I ask that we go back to agenda item 3A on the industrial tax exemption application for the Gnarly Barley Brewing Company. I believe there's some additional action that we need to take in accordance to state law. And so if you'll let us take that matter back up, I have a motion to.
All right, let's hear the motion.
The motion would be that we reject the application for the industrial tax exemption application for Gnarly Barley, and further that we direct the superintendent to notify those persons that we are required to notify in accordance with state law of said objection, of said rejection. Let me try that again, Ms. Jenkins. Yeah, let's see what you got.
Motion to reject the application for industrial tax exemption and direct the superintendent to notify the proper persons according to state law.
In accordance with state law. Yeah, so, yeah, just to word it a little bit cleaner, reject the industrial tax exemption application of Gnarly Barley Brewing Company, and to direct the superintendent to notify those persons required under state law of said rejection.
Okay, we do have a motion on the floor then.
Second.
Second by Mr. Westmoreland.
So if I can just explain it a little bit, Mr. President. Of course, this does not change the prior vote. This is an additional vote that I think we need to take because, as you'll recall from the presentation, under the state law, the failure to reject the application can be interpreted as tacitly approving the application. And so while the motion to approve failed, just so that our record is clear, I think we need to make sure that we vote to reject it and that we also make sure that we notify those people who need to be notified regarding the rejection.
Okay. Any other discussion? Voting's open.
In other words, you vote yes for it to reject their exemption.
Yes is a reject.
I vote yes.
I vote yes.
No.
Yes is to accept what you just said.
Now it comes up. Any other voting?
Mr. Bush? Oh, I got you. I'm sorry. Ms. Richards? No. Online voting's closed. Motion passes.
Okay. Any other items we brought up? Hearing none, meeting is adjourned.